Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in-minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Coach,
how are you?
hey, by the way, this is our last episode was episode number 275. We're on 276 right now. So
We are.
is that like a silver? What's your 75th? I don't know.
We missed it already.
Yeah, we missed it.
All right,
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We'll do something for 300. Definitely do something for 300.
Yeah, definitely.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for episode
Something
300.
special for
Only 25 more to go. By the end of the season, I don't know how many weeks we got.
For sure.
Do the math
for
on
sure.
that.
Yeah,
Twice a week. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that. But before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to Coaching Youth Hoops. It's the reason Coach and I obviously started this podcast. We wanted to help youth coaches. We saw a need. We saw something to talk about. We'd both been youth coaches. It has a little bit of everything that you need to become a better youth basketball coach. It doesn't.
Yeah, we
matter
saw
if
coaches
it's-
just. I mean, I'm part of a lot of different programs, rec programs in my area, and coaches were struggling what to teach, when to teach it, how to teach it, and that's why we created that resource. It's you can go there, download anything, just about anything you need. We got paid. They're free resources. Some stuff you have to pay for. Some more of the more complex things, but there's so much free content either through this podcast or newsletter, YouTube.
Yeah.
Facebook. We have a Facebook group as well.
We've got kids in college. You want to let us pay for a pencil? That would be great.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, appreciate that.
Maybe the lead that goes in the pencil, not the pencil. But maybe.
CoachingYouthHoops.com. Go check it out.
Go check it out. And then what else, Coach?
Yeah, we have well, by the time you're listening to this, we obviously record these before, but go check out coachingyouthhoops.com/AI. We are launching a tool to help youth coaches understand and break down what's happening within the game. So we provide complete stats for the game. We provide some insights and also give you what the heck do I do with all this info that I just got? We give you that next step, right? We tell you the story of the game and then translate that to a practice plan, individual drills for your players, etc. So go check that out. Sign up for it. We'll send you some more information. It's at coachingyouthhoops.com/AI.
All right, go over and check that out. All right, so today we're talking about boosting your coaching confidence.
Yeah, we have a lot of coaches that write in or ask us questions. You know, they're first-time coaches or they're new coaches or they're coaching at a different level than they've done before. They might go from grade school and now they're maybe in junior high right? And they don't feel confident in techniques, game flow, because as you know, as you move up, it gets more competitive, there's more at stake. Uh, so what, what resources are available to them? What can they do? What can they learn? How do they learn? Where do you want to start with this one? It's
It's a big topic.
a big topic.
It's a big
Yeah.
topic. So I'll go back to my beginning of my teaching slash coaching career.
Hmm.
And the way you become more confident is you become a student. For me, I became a student of how to teach mathematics. I also became a student of how to coach. Um, you look, and me personally, I think this is, and I don't know if this is true for everybody, but you need to find, first of all, you need to find some mentors or a
Hmm.
mentor, someone that knows. And I had a couple in the math teaching field. I had a couple great ones that kind of showed me the way, because a book or a professor could only teach you so much, but then you're standing in front of 30 students and you got to teach them something. So there was that real life experience that kind of goes beyond the, I don't want to say superficial, but a little bit is like, it's like you kind of got to know it. And it's the same with coaching. I was trying to think the other day. I think I was under like 4 or 5 head coaches before I became a head coach. And I always tell people that I am the conglomerate of all of them. Like my college coach, my high
Mm.
school coach,
Yeah.
the coaches that I coached under. And what I did personally is I took things from each of them that I liked, and then some things I didn't necessarily like, and I just ignored those. Um, and I just became a little piece of each of them. And that's where I think is finding that mentor, finding that person that can kind of help you navigate it, is a great thing. So that would be my first thing. And sometimes it can be someone that doesn't even know necessarily basketball, but maybe
Could be a
knows
volleyball
kids.
coach, right?
Yeah,
Could be a,
but maybe knows kids, or knows,
oh, right. Yeah, that side of
youth,
it. Yeah.
knows those
Hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
things. I think that
Yeah.
can be a big part of it. What's your thought? I got a couple of thoughts, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. When I first started, and when I very first, was kind of thrown into it, honestly.
Right.
Third grade son, they didn't have a coach. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, right?
That's the
Honestly, did
story for a
had,
lot of people.
yeah,
Like, we don't
exactly.
have anybody, you volunteer,
Yeah.
here you go. Yeah.
Well, and for me, that I just started diving into it because I was like, okay, I played, so I know how to play, but then quickly realized that there's a lot more to it than just the X's and O's. And so I dove deep into finding resources online. And then even creating, practice plans, putting those together. And I'm like, I don't even know if these are right. Like, I don't know if they're right. I just thought of some things that we need to work on, and I put it together in a timely fashion and a schedule, and went and taught the kids. Um, by the way, had an undefeated season that first year, so won the district.
And then you got the
And
bug.
I had
You
no
got the
idea. Then
bug.
I got smarter and started losing because right. So but what I did is I went to the high school coach and I literally sat in his practices. I went to any coaching clinics he had. Even if I went the year before I went back, I email him and ask him, hey, what should I do at this next level, right? What should I focus on? Or what are you guys working on that maybe, would translate to what we're doing so the kids are ready when they're coming to play for you? So I just started those conversations. Again, that's one path you can take, and maybe some of you are like, we're not that serious, Coach Bill. Like, what can we do? But I think that there's so much to the game of basketball. Uh, you have obviously the X's and O's, and if you're a former player, you know about those. But then how to structure practice is a huge thing, right? And I'm going to give you some more tips on that. Even and then there's like the game within the game. How do I manage a game? The timeouts, the substitutions,
The
everything,
nuance, the
the
nuance of the game.
nuances that
Yeah.
happen. It's quick, right? How do I get used to all of that? And
It's like
then I
cooking. I
think
tell people it's like cooking. There's a
it is cooking,
nuance to
yeah.
a good meal and a
Hmm.
good chef. There's a nuance. They
Yeah.
can read the recipe, but there's a nuance to coaching. Yeah, go ahead, coach.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and the last point was that I want to highlight that I think is extremely important is how do you teach youth, period, right? How do they learn so you can teach better? And so that was another area that you have to explore. And, again, we'll do another plug. We have everything, and this is not a plug for Coaching Youth Hoops,
It
but
is a
it
little bit of a
is.
plug because it's part of the reason we started it, coach. It's like,
Right,
it's
is
not, we're
one
not
central
selling. We,
location
yeah,
for
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And, we have tons of resources, free resources. I want to bring a couple up that I think are important.
Okay.
If you go to coachingyouthhoops.com, across the top of the menu, you're going to see practice plans. And we have every practice plan from K through 8,
Right.
right? For again youth coaches. Then there's free resources. We have like if you click on the mental training one, it's it's uh, what this comes up a lot. What do I need to teach third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade? So we walk you through a progression, and that's a free resource, very detailed in what you should be teaching at each grade level.
Right.
Right. And, again, you have to make a slight adjustments based on the team that you have. There's, if this is the beginning of your season, we have checklists of this is called the season organization checklist. You can go through that. It walks you through a lot of just organizing and getting yourself put together for the season. It's complete checklist. Team building activities. If you're just doing tryouts, there's a tryout and evaluation form. We do clinics and free clinics too, right? Where we invite coaches in and you get to ask your specific questions. Of course, there's these podcasts you're listening to as well. Go back into the archive because the things we talk about are what coaches are writing into us asking questions about.
Before we jump on, we'll pull back the curtain. Before we jump on, we usually look at our Facebook group, which is
Yep.
free. You can go over to that, Coaching Youth Hoops, our Facebook group, and we look at all of our social and basically say, what questions are people asking that we can help answer? That's how we come up with topics because
Yeah.
we're
And the only thing
270
we
plus
ask in the
you know.
free resources too is
Right.
we ask you one question. What
Yeah.
are you struggling with?
Yes.
Right. That's the only thing we ask you in return for this free verse. Tell us what you're struggling with so we can create the content to help you.
Right.
And again, that's how we create our content is based on those questions that we ask. And anyway, so yeah, listen to the podcast. If you don't, we got it on YouTube. Like everything we record here is also if you're just listening to it, it's also on YouTube. However, you can read it in our newsletter, right? If you prefer that way. But there's so many resources just here. Okay,
And find resources, find wherever they are. Again, I'm
right.
biased. I think Coaching Youth Hoops is great because you're not surfing YouTube for an hour and a half. But there's lots of resources. And the point of the whole thing is how do you build your coaching confidence is you become more confident. Like, how do I become a better fisherman? I watch fishing things and I figure out baits and I figure out what's working and what's not working. And I ask people that know it better than me. So that's why we started Coaching Youth Hoops and why I think it's such a valuable resource.
Yeah, and watch games, right? Just watch. But here's my word of caution on that. Don't watch NBA games and then try to take their inbound play and translate it to your team. You don't have a
Not gonna work.
6'7" guy that
Yeah.
can jump straight up in the air and, a foot over the rim and catch the ball,
Right.
right? And then wonder why it doesn't work. Well, right. So that's where, resources like we have and others have as well, doing a quick search. Give a plug for some of the AI stuff you're working on. It might be a level up, but we definitely have some
there's some
junior high
AI.
and high
I'm
school.
teasing. There'll be some AI stuff coming as far as lessons and that kind of stuff. I'll put it down in the show notes when we get a little bit closer. But it's like I think there's all sorts of ways. Coach and I are always trying to become better coaches that coach coaches. And the same for you. So, all right. Anything else, Coach?
No, I mean, I think that covers it. There's, you learn by doing and
Yes.
practicing and listening and
Trying.
learning and finding a mentor, like Coach says,
Yeah. And I think
and
you're
failing, right?
yes, failing. I think your practice and it has to be your laboratory. You have to try
That's right.
things and
Yeah.
fail, and it's okay. We all learn that way. It's like, you throw it out, but that's where Coach and I have all that experience about. We kind of know what drills are going to work and not going to work for a third grader, but
Yeah.
sometimes you got to find it out on your own too. Sometimes you got to
Well,
try
and I
it
think,
on your own.
again, this goes back to the coach's confidence is, you know, you are going, more reps under your belt, you're going to become more confident.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're there with the kids, right? And enjoy that experience and, be a positive influence. They want it to be fun, right? At the levels we're talking about here
Right.
and do that. And you're going to go, you're going to be a great coach if you can just, like coach always said, don't be their last coach.
Never be their last coach.
Yeah, have them excited to come back the next year, even if it's not you coaching, they just want to play basketball because of the influence in what you did for them
That's a
on your team.
success. If you're not their last coach in that sport, that's a success.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it with that, Coach. All right. Till next week.
So next week.